In a previous video, we showed how you can turn on the security framework for a web project by using the Quick Setup Genie. And when we did the Quick Setup Genie, we automatically created some sample components, and that included a login component. So the login component is built as a UX component. So let's just go ahead here and run it in working preview. So we can see that the login component basically has our image on the left as we selected when we used the Quick Setup Genie. It has controls for entering the user ID and password, and then it also optionally has a link if the user has forgotten their password and a link for the user to create a new account. So if we go back to design mode, go to properties there and scroll down to the login section, we can see here that the allow password reset is controlled by this property. So if we go back and run this right now, we still have the allow create account, but we don't have allow password reset. So there's our create account property turned on, and now we'll go ahead and turn off allow create account. So when we run this now, we can see that we still have the login controls, but we don't have the hyperlinks that let the user recover a lost password, or at least reset their password or create a new account. So once we turn those two properties on, then we get an additional dialog where we can configure the behavior of the login component. So this configuration dialog allows you to customize the messages that are displayed, and also allows you to customize which containers in the UX component contain the various controls. So if we go to our controls here, we see that we have the login here. So there's the user ID and password, and this is stored in a container called container login. Then there's another container for password reset, and then another container where the user will enter the new password. So here are the new password controls, and then finally another container here for the new account, and then for capturing extended user information when a new account is created. So all of these containers are specified in this configuration dialog here. So you can see here it's prompting for the container ID for password reset. So we can just bring up a list of all the containers and then go ahead and choose that. So once we have our login component, we can then go and configure its behavior very easily by looking at the login properties. Thanks very much. In a previous video, we showed how you could configure a UX component as a login dialog. In this video, we'll show how you can actually use this UX component as your login dialog. So you can see here's our login component, and now we also have a page called login which runs that login component. So let's go ahead now and run this web app in live test mode. So I'll go here to live test. I'll say I'm going to use the development server, and then go there and choose run the login component. So this is going to go ahead now and publish the app. Here's our login component over here. Let me just try to make it a little bit smaller so we can see more of the screen. So there's our login with the image on the left and the dialog there. So one of our sample users was user 1. So I'll go there and type in user 1 alpha and then press login. So that basically logs us in and then runs the redirect page that was specified in security settings. So our redirect page here is taking us to a sample tab UI component, which was one of the sample components that the security framework Genie, the Quick Setup Genie, created for us automatically. So the fact that we went to this page was controlled. If we go back to our login component over here, we can see, first of all, let's go to security settings. We'll go there and we'll look here at our login options. We can see that we've set the redirect page after login to this tab UI page. And then if we go into the component itself, we can see that our after login behavior is to redirect to a target page as opposed to set focus to a panel card in this component. So we've said redirect to a target page, and we've chosen default as the target page, which means that we're going to set focus to the page specified in the security framework. We could of course also go to the smart field here, bring this up and choose a specific page as our redirect after login page. But what we've done over here is we've shown how this UX component behaves as a login dialog. Thanks very much.